Let's be honest, most of you watching this video just want a body that looks good in real life. You probably just want to lose some body fat, have some muscle, see your abs, and look good with your shirt off so people can actually see all the work you're putting in. And a lot of people call this look an aesthetic physique. But even though that's what most guys' goal is, almost everything you see online makes it seem so overcomplicated or like you have to spend your entire life in the gym. They tell you to cut your calories, restrict yourself like crazy, and basically suffer more until you finally get lean. The thing is, we live normal lives, and doing all that just isn't going to work long term. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 3-step system I'd use if my goal was to build a lean aesthetic physique, whether you're starting with extra body fat or you've been stuck in that skinny fat phase like I was. Step 1 is the foundation phase, where we fix the way your body uses food. The reality is, most guys have too much body fat to actually see the progress they're making. We all know a guy who's been going to the gym for a few months or even years, trains pretty hard, but when he looks in the mirror, he still doesn't look like he's made much progress. And for a lot of people, that's us. We swear we're getting stronger, but what we're seeing doesn't show all the work we're putting in. The truth is, the gym is working, but your body fat is hiding your hard work. And that's because your body and your metabolism isn't set up to actually get lean. And a lot of guys get caught in the trap of thinking they need to bulk up to build a good physique. It's what everyone in the fitness industry pushes you to do. But I'm going to be the first to tell you that if you start bulking before you have abs, your body will just store a lot of that food as extra body fat and not muscle. So what should your actual goal be? Well, you want to get to a point where when you take your shirt off, people can actually tell you work out. That's roughly 10 to 12% body fat. At that point, your clothes start fitting differently, your face looks sharper, and for the first time, the mirror actually reflects all the work you've been putting in. The thing is, getting to that 10 to 12% body fat isn't as complicated as what everyone tells you. And I teach step by step how anyone can get lean inside of my program, the Lean Body Accelerator. But here's a quick breakdown. The first thing we want to do is fix your metabolism, and that starts with what you're actually putting in your body day to day. And no, I'm not talking about some crazy elimination diet or cutting out everything you enjoy. It's actually way simpler than that. You just need to switch to a whole foods diet with foods like meat, fruit, vegetables that actually can be used by your body for energy. You don't need to be perfect or starve yourself all day to get lean. You just need to make sure that most of what you're eating is real food. Once you've made that switch and found the 4 or 5 meals you actually enjoy, you want to make sure you're in a calorie deficit. On my channel, I talk a lot about not rushing the process by dropping calories too fast, as this just leads to your body burning out. Instead, you want to start with 200 to 300 below your maintenance and save the lower calorie drops for when your progress slows down. And if any of those terms like maintenance or calorie deficit are new to you, here's the simple breakdown. Your body burns a certain amount of energy every day to keep you at your weight, and that's called your maintenance calories. If you eat there, you stay the same weight, and if you eat above it for a few weeks, you'll gain weight. And if you eat a little below it, your body needs to find that extra energy from somewhere, and that's when it actually uses your body fat. That's all a calorie deficit and getting lean is, your body using body fat for energy. Now, if you want to speed up the process, the best thing to do isn't actually running or intense cardio like you've been told. It's actually walking, which anyone can do. It doesn't even have to be on a treadmill, though incline walking will definitely help even more. I recommend waking up a bit earlier and starting your morning with a walk around your neighborhood for 20 to 30 minutes. This sets your day up so you're burning body fat and creating that calorie deficit. But some of you watching might not be overweight and might be skinny or skinny fat like I was when I started, so keep watching because phase 3 is going to help you know exactly what to do. Now for step 2, we call it the sculpting phase, where we need to actually build that aesthetic physique. Too many guys I talk to worry about weight loss and what the scale says, but that's not the goal, and just leads to us looking like a smaller, softer, skinnier version of ourselves. Instead, we need to focus on fat loss and not weight loss, and we want to build muscle as we go. But building an aesthetic physique means actually being intentional about where you build that muscle. Because we want broad shoulders that V-taper back, chest and arms that fill out our shirts, and abs when we actually take our shirt off. The key to getting this look for most guys is building their shoulders and their upper chest. I've always liked the idea of sculpting the physique you want because most guys just show up with no real intention and end up with muscle in the wrong areas. But there are also a few smaller muscle groups that most people ignore, and these are the ones that actually make or break your physique. And that's your neck and your forearms, which almost everyone I talk to doesn't train, which is crazy because they literally are the only muscles that you can actually see when you're wearing clothes. So how do we structure our workouts to actually build this physique? It's simple, and if you follow my channel, we focus on 4 hard workouts a week with a split called PPLA. The first workout will be your back day. I always try to have one exercise focused on the width and one focused on thickness. My go-tos right now are usually wide grip pull downs and then seated cable rows for the thickness. On back days, I usually hit a bit of biceps towards the end, which I love cable rope hammer curls for. And your back days is where your neck training should come in, which can be done with shrugs, holding a plate, or some dumbbells. Then our next day would be chest focused, where I'm always focusing on an incline press for that upper chest. Personally, I like the Smith for the control, but you can do dumbbells or a machine as well. Most guys neglect the upper chest and just focus on flat bench, which leads to that saggier, softer, that man boob look. And on chest days, I always throw in triceps, with my go-to being rope extensions for the mind-to-muscle connection you can get. Really focus on squeezing at the bottom. Then, where my plan is different from most ones you'll see online, I actually dedicate a full day to building your shoulders and arms. These are the most important muscle groups for that aesthetic look we all want. For shoulders, my two main workouts are dumbbell lateral raises and dips, and it's on this day that I usually train my forearms with plate curls and cable wrist curls, which you're seeing on the screen right now. Now for abs, you should be doing weighted crunches, but just remember, seeing them is mostly going to come down to your diet like we talked about earlier. I've got more videos on my channel breaking down my 4-day workout split, but if you want everything put together into a step-by-step plan that you can follow, check out my program, the Lean Body Accelerator. It's built for guys looking to get lean while building muscle, and it works no matter what your starting point is, your age, or your experience in the gym. I'll drop it in below in the comment section if you're interested. Then comes step 3, which I call the building phase, because we've talked about how to get lean and fix the way your body uses food and how to train the right muscle groups, but now you need to actually build the muscle without gaining all the extra body fat. And this means giving your body the fuel it needs to grow, and it's where most guys go wrong. They think more food equals more muscle, so they go all in on the bulk, undo everything they just worked for, and end up back at square one. The reality is, your body can only build so much muscle at a time, so you don't need much extra fuel to make it happen. We're talking around 200 calories above your maintenance. Think some more carbs before and after the gym. Just enough to give your body what it needs to grow without tipping back into storing fat. You're not trying to do what everyone talks about, where they bulk up, stop doing any cardio, and end up putting all this extra fat on. Your goal is to slowly build muscle while staying lean, and once you get back up to around 15% body fat, you just go back into phase 1 and repeat the process. And look, I know this might sound too simple, but that's kind of the point. You don't need to starve yourself, you don't need to live in the gym, and you don't need to suffer through some program that doesn't fit your life. You just need to follow the right steps in the right order and stop switching plans every few weeks. One of my guys, Lachlan, did exactly that and went from 25% body fat down to 10% in 6 months. I broke down his entire transformation in this video right here if you want to watch that next. I appreciate you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.